In this video, I'm gonna take a look at this teleconversion lens for the Ricoh GR3X camera. Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto and I'm a photographer. And in this video, I'm gonna take a look at this teleconversion lens for the Ricoh GR3X camera. But first, the disclaimer, this teleconversion lens is not mine. This is on loan from Focus Nordic Finland. And I'd like to say big thanks to them for letting me borrow this so I can make this video for you guys. The Ricoh GR3 and the 3X both are excellent and fun little cameras for street and travel and all kinds of photography. But there are also quite a few handy accessories for both of these cameras for those photographers who feel that the basic camera is not enough. And one such accessory is this GT-2 teleconversion lens for the Ricoh GR3X camera. There is also a similar wide-angle conversion lens for the GR, but unfortunately that was not available for review. So in this video we're just going to take a look at this GT-2 teleconversion lens for the GR3X. The standard lens on the GR3X has a 40mm equivalent angle of view, and this GT-2 teleconversion lens transforms the standard lens to a 75mm equivalent, and the maximum aperture stays the same f2.8 as it is on the standard lens. The teleconversion lens is called the GT-2, but to be able to use it you'll also need another part that is called the GA2, and that is basically just a piece of plastic tube adapter that goes between the teleconversion lens and the camera. But you can also use the GA2 for filters because it has a 49mm thread. So you can use any filter or any 49mm lens accessory on your GR3X with the GA2. And this GA2 only fits the GR3X. There is a similar adapter for the regular GR, which is called the GA1. And if you want to use the wide-angle adapter on your GR, then you'll also need the GA1 for that. The GT2 teleconversion lens has a 49mm thread, and it basically screws on the GA2 adapter, and then you just remove the lens ring from your GR3X and mount this combo over the lens on your camera. I'm wondering why Ricoh does not make a kit that would include both these parts, the GT2 and the GA2. That would make a lot of sense, and it would make it so much easier to buy this product, because now I think it's possible that someone might order just the GT2 without realizing that you'll also need the GA2. And then, of course, it's a bummer when the part finally arrives and you realize that you can't use it. But anyway, let's now talk about the build quality and the optical performance. First of all, the GT2 is a very simple part. It's made of metal and glass, no moving parts, just the metal outer part, and I don't actually know how many lens elements there are, but more than one for sure. But the build quality is high, and it's a very simple part. Nothing to go wrong or nothing to break, pretty much. The GA2 is basically just a piece of plastic tube, and it also feels high quality, and when this combo is mounted on the camera, it feels solid and no free play, and it doesn't feel like it's going to fall off anytime soon. When the teleconversion lens is mounted on the camera, it will essentially double the size and weight of the camera. But the teleconversion lens is also very easy to take off and mount back on. And when the conversion lens is mounted, you can operate the power switch normally because the camera lens will move inside the plastic adapter tube. The teleconversion lens also comes with caps for both ends, so you can pretty much use this as any interchangeable camera lens. And then about the optical quality and the sharpness. My first impressions were really good, and I was super excited. Everything looked so good, and I saw no image penalty with this teleconversion lens. But when I imported my pictures into Lightroom, I realized something weird. My pictures were only about 15 megapixels instead of 24, so 9 megapixels disappeared. And I was wondering what is going on. With a little bit of research, I found out that the camera uses the crop mode whenever this combo is attached. And when you think about it, it makes sense, because the standard lens is a 40mm equivalent, and this is 1.5 times teleconversion lens. So 40 times 1.5 is not 75, it's 60. So the camera uses the 50mm crop mode, and 50 times 1.5 is 75. But fortunately there is a workaround, and you can force the camera to use the full sensor also with this combo. This GA2 adapter has 3 little connectors on the inside, and you'll just cover those with a piece of tape, and after that the camera is forced to use the full sensor. So how's the optical performance with the full sensor area? First of all, the mid part of course is really good, and there is no difference between the bare lens and the teleconversion lens. However, the corners are a little bit soft, and you can clearly see that this lens was not designed to be used on a full sensor. There's also a little bit of pincushion distortion visible towards the edges of the frame. And there's also some vignetting visible, especially towards the corners of the frame. But I still think the image quality, even on a full sensor, is not that bad. And if those soft, dark corners become distracting in any of my pictures, I can always crop them out. The GT-2 seems to handle backlight really well, and also the autofocus seems to work as well as without the teleconversion lens, so no autofocus penalty. The close-up performance, however, is a lot worse with the teleconversion lens, which is a little surprising, because at first you might think that the close-up performance would get better when you attach the teleconversion lens, but unfortunately that's not the case. The price for the GT2 seems to be around 250-300 euros or dollars, and the plastic adapter ring seems to be around 50 euros or dollars. So together this combo would cost you roughly about 300 or 350 euros or dollars, give or take a little bit depending on your location. In my opinion, this is a really nice little accessory, and it adds a lot of versatility to your GR3X camera. The optical quality is very good, especially with the crop mode, but even on a full sensor area it's still quite decent. However, if I bought this combo and did not know about the crop factor, I'd probably be a little bit disappointed, and that crop factor is not that well advertised by Ricoh. I also think that one of the best things with the Ricoh GR3 or 3X is the simplicity and ease of use. And once you start adding accessories like this, you kind of spoil that simplicity. It's not that simple pocket camera anymore, it's more like a camera system with all these accessories. So for my use, the basic camera without any extra accessories is just fine. But I'm also sure that there are quite a few GR3X users out there who'd happily take the extra added versatility that this teleconversion lens can offer. So these are my final thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this a lot, please consider buying me a cup of coffee. There's a link for that if you don't live in Finland. Thank you, and I'll see you again in the next one.